evening, everyone out there, you beautiful people, guys, people. So I just wanted to come on here and have this conversation. Um, so the title of this video is From Pain to Purpose and How to Launch Your Coaching Journey with Nothing But Faith. This video is specifically for a kingdom-minded believer who knows they're called to help others, but you've been stuck in fear, perfectionism, and uncertainty. And so, for those of you who don't know me, I am Andrea, the Life Igniter. I am a holistic lifestyle empowerment coach. I can help you with purpose discovery, self discovery, vision discovery, self love, holistic healing, doing the inner work, as well as mindset and becoming the version of you that is aligned with your purpose and who God calls you to be. And so you can be male, you can be a woman, it doesn't matter, but you're faith based and you feel a sense of urgency in your spirit, but you may just feel like you're stuck and you're just not sure on how to move forward. So I have some really exciting news that I want to share. June is my birthday month. For those of you that don't know it, it is already passed, but I celebrate all months. And so, with that being said, I'm excited to announce that I have something special for you. So, I want to tell you a little backstory of how we got to this point to share this special offer with you. So I had an opportunity to do a session with a client, and she had purchased my ebook called It's Time to Move from Fear into Faith, right? And so we did the 30-minute coaching session and everything, and we went over the things that were holding her back. And she's been a fireball ever since I met her. I had a wonderful opportunity to meet her along the journey. And so we had this session and everything, and she was just like, I know for a fact that I'm called to help women heal. You know, I don't walk through some things myself. I have my own personal testimony. I just don't know how to start. I just don't know what to do with. So in that, this particular program really was birthed to help her get to the next level. And she was like, I just feel like I got to go back and I got to get these certifications and I got to do this and I got to do that. And I'm in survival mode and I'm working on this and I'm working on that. And I don't have these things in place. And I said, you know what? You're already qualified for what God called you to do. You don't need a PhD. Actually, you already got one, right? You got a PhD because you done been through life. You done been through some challenges in your life. You done experienced some personal setbacks, right? You don't learn some lessons. You have gained some wisdom nuggets, right? You have begun to go through the fire. You've been tried, tested, proven, right? And now here you are, still standing, 10 toes down. And guess what? You still here. And you know what? On top of all that, what else has happened is you've caught revelation that there's more to life than you just being in survival mode and just trying to work to pay your bills every day because you're just trying to get a paycheck. Now, granted, I'm not saying walk away from that, what you're doing right now, but have that in the background, but also simultaneously start moving forward in divine alignment to what you are really called to do and what lights you up on the inside. And so after having this conversation with her, she just was like, oh my God, I'm over here trying to figure this out and maybe go for this because it pays this. And I'm trying to figure that out and go for that because it pays that. And so I'm over here thinking like I got to do all this stuff in order to get ahead and do this and do that. And like I said, the light bulb went off for her. She was like, you know what? I really just need to just move in what it is that I need to do. That God, I feel in my heart is what I'm called to do. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. On top of that, I told her, I said, I'm gonna help you. I just felt in my heart, I am assigned. We've crossed paths on purpose, right? And so I'm gonna be obedient and I'm gonna move in purpose to help you with all these tools and resources and all the things that I have invested into, right? And I'm going to help you get to the next level because at this point in the game, it's about birthing it out and doing it with a sense of urgency. On top of all that, we got to recognize the climate that we're in right now. We're in such a climate that is like The harvest is ripe, y'all. And if you feel any sense of, I know I'm called to do something, but you just like, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start, and all the things, right? All these roadblocks. Oh, I got to get this, I got to do that. I'm here to let you know God already qualified you. He gave you the vision, He gave you the idea. You're actually already kind of moving in the gifts and the talents and the abilities that you already were born with that come naturally to you. The thing about divine alignment is it's not going to be something that's going to take you 25 steps outside of the realm in the capacity of what God already put on the inside of you. You just have to begin to align your actions. You just have to begin to move forward with no fear. Even though fear is going to be present, fear is going to try to work up against you. It's going to try to tell you you're an imposter. It's going to try to tell you who you think you are to be trying to do something like this. It's going to try to make you second guess and question everything. And if it ain't going on in your head, it definitely is going to show up around people who could be very close to you to try to tell you who you are not. But guess what? We still got to move forward anyway. And the reason is because you're called for such a time as this. And now is that time to move forward in this. So I'm just going to go through and share this little sacred, what I call a sacred activation plan, okay? And it's a 7-day journey. And the word sacred, now, if you don't know me by now, you're going to get to know that I'm the acronym queen, okay? So I always got an acronym for something. Even the word ignite is an acronym. Like my whole brand is literally like an acronym. So for the word sacred, the acronym is S is for surrender to the call, right? You have to come to a point of surrender to the calling that is on your life. A is about alignment with divine assignment, right? You have to come into alignment with what you have been assigned to do for such a time as this. C is to clarify your calling. There's something stirring up on the inside of you, and you know what that is. And sometimes we're struggling with honing in on that thing because we may feel like, okay, that's kind of boxing me in just a little bit, or that makes me feel kind of like, I'm not too sure, and a lot of times the thing that you initially came to mind usually is the thing that you were supposed to be doing, right? Even in clarifying your calling, a lot of this stuff is it basically are things that you've been doing all your life. No matter if life took you down a detour, you took your own self down a detour, right? No matter if, distractions came along the way. And here you are, starting from ground zero, and now you got to rebuild your foundation in your life all over again. At the end of the day, you've been operating in your natural giftings and talents and abilities. You've even done this or have tried to on your job. And in some instances, you probably have been reprimanded for trying to show up as that version of you. And a lot of times what we'll find is when we're trying to move in that direction in certain atmospheres and environments, we may be facing a lot of adversity and opposition to try to tell us who we're not or to try to disqualify who you are. But those are the indicating signs that you're on the right track. But a lot of times you could be in the wrong environment that's not going to help you thrive and grow. Okay, so that's the piece about clarifying your calling. R is about rising in identity and authority. So now it's time to rise up and just be. You don't need permission to be who God called you to be. Now, granted, are you going to go through some refining processes sometimes? Yes. Will you be tried in the fire? Yes. You're going to go through process like David did. David had to learn how to tend to the sheep, right? He had to learn how to master himself. He had to learn how to come under subjection to, being developed, right? And so with that comes mentorship sometimes. With that comes discipleship. With that comes, having someone who can help you to look past and overcome certain roadblocks, or sometimes even avoid those roadblocks so that you can get there a lot faster. But you got to be willing to trust the process. And so when we're talking about rising in identity, this is about gaining the confidence, right, to move forward in who you are already, right? Even though this version of you today may not necessarily be the best version of you, but it's a matter of aligning your mindset, your heart, your sight, right? Your language and your actions to begin to come into alignment and then begin moving forward in it actively and making sure that those steps are in alignment with where God is telling you to go and what He's telling you to do. Okay. And then the authority part, now you got to exercise the word of God because you're going to face some opposition in your life the moment you say, you know what? I say yes. And guess what? Now I am going to come 100%. I ain't talking about 99.9%. I'm talking about 100% fully dialed in. And I'm going to just say this. The same thing happened to Jesus when Jesus said, you know what? Yeah, I know what I came here to do. Okay. And there were times when he had to pull away off to himself and go pray. There were times he had to fast. And even in the midst of him fasting, guess what? He was threatened by opposition, right? The adversary looked him in the face and tried to get him to turn, a rock into bread to eat, to get him to come lower than, to appease the adversary. But we have to know who we are and we have to take authority and we have to understand that we have to exercise the word of God because you're going to face opposition. You're going to face adversity. You're going to face things just going on in your life that you like, what in the world is this? All hell will begin to break loose. And I'm a living testimony of that. Okay. Prime example. I'm going to share this. So in the midst of me, working my other, side hustles and things like that, my car, which I just got, decided to start acting crazy on me. It started making all these crazy noises. It started acting like it was about to shut down and cut off. In the midst of all that, my phone's battery decided to die. So here I have been without my phone for 2 days, almost going on 3. And the most interesting thing is that I cannot get into my other social media platforms because I need my phone to validate the code to authenticate my ability to be able to log in there. But the only place that I have access to that don't require all that is YouTube. And truth be told, God told me years ago, start your platform on YouTube. So now here I am in this space, and in this moment where everything is literally at a halt of what I was doing as like a side hustle in addition to all of this. But I'm at a standstill. There's no notifications that I'm getting, no phone calls that I'm getting, but I'm left to sit here with myself and with my thoughts and with God, right? To be able to rise in authority. And out of that, this was birthed, okay? And I had to have this moment, which I could not understand it, but I'm coming around, right? Moment by moment. But in this moment, I'm recognizing it. This time of being at a standstill has allowed me to recalibrate and to begin to also heal and deal with some of the things that God is still healing me from. So let me tell you this, even as you begin to step into position and come into alignment and authority, you're not about to be 100% totally transformed, right? There are levels and layers to your healing. There are levels and layers to God making you whole again, right? And then when we talk about coming into alignment, it is going to force you to have to cut away some things that don't serve you at being the best version of you. It's going to cut away and force you to have to deal so that you can align and practice what you're preaching out here, right? To have integrity, because you can't be out here telling everybody what they're supposed to be doing and you don't even do it yourself. So you have to become the full and total embodiment of what you're talking about, right? So now when you speak, you speaking with authority. You speaking from a place of I know who I am. And yeah, even though I'm walking through these different things in my life, now you can share your story from a place of true, authenticity and from a place of transparency to be able to help other people. Okay, so you're going to be faced with challenges. It's not going to be easy, but you still going to have to push against the opposition, right? And sometimes the opposition is there to challenge you to rise up and to come up higher as the next level and dimension of you fully embodying this version of you that is required to go to the next level in the next dimension of your life and in your calling. Okay, so let's move on. The letter E. E is about embodying the message. So I kind of touched on that when I talked about, rising in identity and authority and taking authority over your life, speaking the word when you're faced with all these things. But you have to embody the message. And so, as I just stated, you have to practice what you're talking about, right? You have to embody that. You have to be, right? You can't say one thing and be doing something else. Like, it is going to require a level of integrity. And because people are going to recognize when something is off. Like, they're going to know, they can feel it. You can feel people's vibrations, right? But when it's real and it's authentic and it ain't putting on a mask to make it look like it's this, is that. In today's world, there are so many facades. There's so much fake stuff out here, y'all. It's so much AI generated this and that and, cloning and all this crazy stuff going on. But at what point do we take the mask off and be the real version of you, like showing up as your true, most authentic self? Meaning that no matter what space, sphere you see me in, this is the same version of me that you're going to get when you see me in church. This is the same version of me you're going to get when you see me on the job. This is the same version of me you're going to see when I'm with my family. This is the same version of me that you're going to see when I'm out at the grocery store. I don't switch up. I don't do that. No, you have to be authentically who you are, right? And the ultimate goal here is to become more like Christ, no matter what time of the year you was born, no matter what your personality type is, no matter all of these things that make us up, right? Or the things that are in our flesh. At the end of the day, your character needs to come into alignment with Christ's consciousness and being consciously aware that he is the one who should be, the example before you on how to live this life and to show up and do the things that are necessary to be the version of you that people can see Christ in you, right? So you have to embody the message. You have to walk with that thing, knowing that this is the mantle, right? This is the mantle that I'm carrying because I have to show up. I have to do this as unto the Lord. I have to do this in excellence, right? I have to show up and I have to just be and embody all of that, right? Without nobody opinions or anything like that rocking or shaking my foundation, because I know that I've spent time in a secret place. I know that what I've been given, it came from God, and I'm going to go forth, not in cockiness, but in Holy Ghost boldness, letting God and my heart posture be yielded unto him, and my mind being yielded and transformed and renewed daily by his word, right? And so lastly, we got the letter D, y'all. D in this sacred process is about delivering the transformation. And so when you know that God is over here working on you to be transformed, guess what? He's going to aid you, give you his grace to help you to deliver others to be transformed. And so all of this, okay, is a beautiful process that you can take. This is the framework, right? That you can take, whether you feel like, I don't know what to do, how to start, where to start, where do I go, how do I get this thing moving? Like, I feel the sense of urgency, right? But let me tell you this. This is not about building a business first. This is about building boldness and God preparing you, which he's already done this whole time, right? This is for those that know that God been working on you. Like God been healing you. God been making you, having you, things that come to the surface for you to deal with so you can heal it, so you can, be in position. You feel prepared, right? But guess what? Now it's time to move. Now it's time. So if you're seeing this video, this is not by happenstance. No, this is by divine appointment and divine alignment, because it is your time to now move in it. And I'm just here as an open vessel, moving with God in obedience to ignite and tell you. And I pray you feel the fire under you, right? To begin moving in it. And if you don't know how, I got a solution. I got a solution for you. So I want to say, I'm offering this as a pay what you can offer, okay? That has really been stirring in my spirit in this particular season right now, is to offer the things that I've been coming up with, or the things that I've actually had in a vault for years that I'm finally now releasing, because these things are sacred that God has deposited in my spirit. And I understand what it means to be in transition, or feeling like, oh my God, like I know I'm supposed to do this, but I just don't really have the money all like that to do this. But I feel it in my spirit to move in it. And so I have 3 tiers, right? The first one is, I'm sowing a seed, and that tier is $27, right? The second one is I'm walking by faith and I'm coming into alignment, right? That was $47. And then we have, I feel ignited in my purpose. And so I'm going to sow for this experience at $97, right? So no matter the seed you sow, your yes is what's going to activate your transformation. And I'm willing to serve and to help you at whatever level you choose to sow into where God is trying to take you. This is an activation step to take, to use your faith and to align not just your heart, your mind, and your soul with this, but to also activate your faith financially to sow for where you're trying to go. Because you're going to be given, not just, you're going to be given a plan to add to your faith. This plan is going to create the structure that you need to get going. And in 7 days, y'all, in 7 days, long as you follow it to the T, you will begin moving in the calling of being a coach and using your story to help you to move forward, okay? So that's what this is for. So if you're ready to break fear and step into your purpose, there is a link below this video. Fill out the form, right? Make your tier seed offer, right? For where you're at, and you will get access to the information. Okay, I'm going to personally send you the next steps, but we're going to wrap this up right here and end it right here. So I am going to close with a prayer, okay? And it's a prophetic charge, okay? And just repeat after me, that I declare the fire of faith rise up in me now, that I no longer shrink back or second guess the calling on my life. And if that's what you're ready for, click the link below this video, make your seed, right, to where you're trying to go. No matter what level that is, you're going to get access. Do what's on your heart to do, because God is going to meet you right where you're at according to your faith, okay? And get ready that over the next 7 days, you're going to be given an email each day, which is an activation email that's going to ignite activation, meaning that not only am I talking in faith, but I'm also moving in faith with my action, okay? And if any of this has resonated with you, comment the word "I'm ready" below, right? And I'm going to make sure that I acknowledge every comment below this video. But once you complete that form, we'll connect, and I'll make sure you get that information. But I cannot wait to hear your testimony. I want to hear your testimony, and I want to be connected, and we'll have the conversation. But I do want to see how God moves over the next 7 days in your life as you begin to walk this thing out on purpose. And so this is your girl, Andrea, the Life Igniter. I pray you felt the fire, right? That something in you started stirring up, right? Something in you became activated, okay, to begin moving forward. And I'm here to let you know the plan that God gave me is so simple. It takes the guesswork out of all of this because it don't require a whole lot. Most of this stuff you already have. It's not about it being perfect. It's not about the latest and greatest technology. It's about you just moving in it, okay? And just doing it. You got to have the just do it swoosh Nike on it, okay? Like you just got to just do it. Do it to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm doing this so much now. I feel it's like the fear is gone, right? I'm moving, I'm shaking, I'm doing it, right? And so I encourage you, let's get it, let's go. Your time is now for such a time as this, and it's time to set the world on fire with purpose because we're ushering in the next phase of the kingdom mandate of what God is doing in this hour. And if you feel called to do that, this is the time, this is the moment to be moving in purpose. And I promise you that when you align with what God wants, He's going to super exceed your expectations. So let's get it, let's go. God bless you.